Welcome, Aakash, to 3 Years LLB YT. Before we dive straight into the litany of questions, a brief background. Legal Edge has been the undisputed leader in the 5-year category for over a decade now. We have trained thousands and thousands of students, and a lot of them are currently living their dream life in their dream law schools, NLSIU Bangalore, Nalsar Hyderabad, and a lot of other top national law schools, including GLC Mumbai, ILS Pune, etc. And we've now officially entered the 3 years LLB category as well. And we've been training students for past couple of months. Currently, we're training 200 plus odd students, and we're possibly the only institute who's that we've devised the curriculum in such a manner that we target most of the 3-year LLB entrances, NLSAT, MHCT, CUET, all national law schools, etc. So, with that background, I would just start off on that note. Thank you for accepting the invite. Thank you for sparing time for this interview. And let's just start with a brief introduction.
So, just to introduce myself, I'm Aakash Naik. I'm currently pursuing 3 years LLB course from Government Law College Mumbai, and currently I'm in final year. And I'm interning with SK Singhi and Partners with their Mumbai office with their dispute resolution team. So.
Let's just go back a little and start from the discipline that you graduated in. What motivated you to take up this career trajectory? Because based on the discussion that we've had, I know that you're an engineer, graduate in engineering. So let's just start from slightly a little back so that we can lay the foundation for a lot of students who will definitely relate with your career trajectory.
Yes. So as every parent's dream, they want to become a doctor or an engineer. Same was the case of mine. My parents selected engineering for me, and I completed it. It's not that I was bad in engineering, but I completed it. I was even about to join HPCL, but due to the Corona thing, I wasn't able to make it through. So in 2020, I graduated from Lokmanya Tilak from mechanical engineering. And then when the COVID thing started, I was trying to get into graduate engineer trainee program of HPCL, but the Corona thing happened. Then I pivoted to competitive exams. So I have given Coast Guard exams, civil services, then CAPF, CDS. But every time I missed the cutoffs by hardly 1 or 2 marks. So I was dwelling about what to do. Then I started exploring options. So in 2020, I kind of narrowed down my options, and I decided that either I would be doing MBA or I would be doing law. So the reason of selecting law was specific because I wanted a career path where I get to interact with multiple peoples like every day. So law, I felt it was an ideal option. Like there are challenges coming in and out every day. Then there are clients coming in and out every day. You get to interact a lot. You get to know a lot about things. So yes, that's how I ended up in law.
So I think a lot of students will relate to this, wherein engineering is a first choice. I mean, not theirs, but their parents. So engineering is a first choice. So I think that's a big relatability factor. But you highlighted a very interesting point that you were deliberating between MBA and 3 years LLB. So a lot of students that I interact with, they pretty much are confused as to which career option to go for, because post graduation, these two options seem to be like a logical upgrade in your career trajectory. So two questions that I would want you to say, like, answer in this particular order. First, why law over MBA? And second, you must have, of course, seen potential in 3 years law. And so those objective metrics that you considered while opting for 3 years LLB.
See, when you are a 3-year candidate, you have very limited options. So if you don't pursue MBA from top colleges, say for example, IIM, ABC, or even in the MHCET, if you don't end up in top one or two colleges, then it's not worth it in my opinion. Of course, there will be some another cases, but still, in my opinion, if you are a fresher and if you want to opt for MBA, then MBA should be done from only top colleges, or else it's not worth it. So my primary reason of opting out from MBA was that only. Since I am a male candidate, that too from engineering
Engineering
background,
background.
so the IIM cutoff kind of are not that good for me. Even
Ironically, the
after,
gem.
yes, so exactly. So if you are a gem candidate, you won't. It would be very difficult for you to get in IIM in top IIMs. So then I started kind of seeing the placement thing and all of the Maharashtra colleges. Then again, I thought it's not worth it. Like the amount of fees they are charging and the ROI a candidate is expecting, it's not at par. So I opted for law. In at least for GLC, our fees is very minuscule. It's next to zero practically.
Yes.
So when I was giving my 3-year MSCT, I decided at the very early stage, if I don't make it to GLC, I won't be joining law. So that was my kind of mindset that if not in GLC, I won't be opting law.
Okay. So you were pretty clear that it has to be a top college.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll figure out the next step. I think very, very
Yes.
interesting factor that the ROI is really high because the investment is to return ratio for GLC. It's I
Yes.
mean, unmatched. The fees
Yes.
is super minimal, and given the kind of exposure that you get in Mumbai with law
Hmm.
firms, practice, senior lawyers, the ROI could be like really high. And it's a great career upgrade. So just to like add to it, at least this is what I tell my students and whosoever that I interact with, that 3 years law is not actually plan B. It's a career upgrade. It's a career
Exactly.
upgrade because once you're in graduate, you're still trying to figure out what the next step could be. So law, again, a gazillion career opportunities, but at the same time, the kind of exposure that you have. You have
Hmm.
students from all across India and the kind of cognitive capacity and ability that you build. I think that's unmatched that 3 years law gives in. And with
Yes,
MBA, yeah, go ahead.
exactly. So if I tell about my batch, we have from economist to retired bureaucrats to serving bureaucrats to candidates like me who have given up their civil services dream, etc., etc. So we have kind of diverse exposure. And if you are in 3-year law course, and whenever you join a law firm or say a chamber, just by looking at your age and looking at your background, they directly start giving you like important task, or say something which is not given to a 5-year candidate just because of their age. There's nothing wrong in that. Sometimes the gravity of the case is so high that they feel कि 5-year candidate को ये समझने में जितना टाइम लगेगा.
That's a very interesting point that you have
Yes.
raised because a lot of students are also they have this prejudice that maybe 5 year
Just to
candidates
clarify
are preferred
myself,
to 3 year.
at the entry level only, 5-year candidates are also doing great.
No, they're of course doing great. In fact, that's what I'm saying, that a lot of students, they are a little prejudiced and they believe that 5 year candidates are given priority over 3 years in terms of placements and everything. And this is what I keep telling them, that such is not the case. Once you're out in the industry, you are on your merit. And
Exactly.
you're on your merit, and even in terms of placements and everything, eventually both the categories that studying same law. So how well you're able to apply and develop your skill is what essentially is the distinguishing factor versus whether you're a 5-year candidate or a 3-year candidate.
Yes,
So
that's
yeah. So now quickly, so yeah, with just to add on to that one point that we were discussing, with MBA, the success ratio is also kind of super skewed. And there are a lot of other factors which are to be considered: your 10, 12 score marks, your work experience, etc., then gender diversity, etc. So on a very objective note, 3 years is a great career upgrade with slightly lesser entry barriers, I would say.
exactly.
Moving on, so you're in GLC Mumbai, of course, one of the top colleges and one of the oldest colleges with the kind of exposure in Mumbai. So would want you to reflect a little on how your life looks like in GLC Mumbai.
So the best thing about GLC is we don't have very strict attendance. It's very much known to everyone. So the advantage of getting into GLC is you will get to intern a lot,
throughout the year,
like
basically.
literally a lot. In a 3 year course, if a candidate is kind of dedicated, he can actually intern for 2.5 years. So in if I have to say my case, I started interning from my second year, and from then onwards, I'm continuously interning at different offices. So means I've done long term internships. So for nearly I have an experience of nearly 1.5 year, and still my one semester is remaining, and I will be interning in that sem also. So if you opt for GLC, the best thing is whenever you graduate from this college, you already have a network built in the industry. You know certain advocates, you know certain individuals who can get through. And if you have worked hard in your internships, there might be a chance that you might end up getting a PPO as well.
So for the audience, PPO is pre-placement offer, which is basically once you're interning or working with any law firm or any practicing lawyer or wherever, any organization, and they like your work, so they offer you a pre-placement offer that, listen, we would want you to join us. So just to clarify it for the audience. So yeah, I mean that's also an advantage that GLC offers, that attendance is flexible, so you can pretty much plan your day, your internships accordingly. But I think at the same time it also offers a very unique balance of college exposure too, because
Yes,
GLC has
exactly.
a great mooting culture, debating culture with seniors all across. You always have resources at your disposal. So a little on those lines, if you could add.
So to tell about myself, if I have to tell about college, we have very active committees in our college. So if I have to tell about myself, I am myself associated with legal aid committee of our college. So in legal aid committee, we have started this client counseling program. In client counseling program, we have opened a legal aid clinic on every Saturday. We have real clients coming in, and they take our legal opinion. We also have an empaneled advocate of DALSA.
Okay.
He along with us, we try to kind of give some guidance to the client. And if his case is really kind of difficult, that cases end up with DALSA. So if just because I'm in GLC, sorry, just because we have a brand name of GLC, institution like DALSA like to associate with us. Similarly, because we both are government organizations, they kind of associate with us. Similarly, in if you are mooting, and if you are kind of, I have few friends who have kind of पूरे देश में घूमे वो लोग for this moot competitions. So yes, you get a pretty decent exposure.
Yeah,
A
GLC has great mooting cultures. I've met like really great mooters and debaters from GLC. So again, the kind of exposure that these activities and the kind of exposure that students in GLC get because of the brand name and the brand value, and given of course it's one of the oldest law colleges, so you have a huge alumni base, makes it like to be one of the most coveted colleges for 3 or LLB in India. And any aspirant out there who's looking for that sort of career upgrade should definitely consider it. Moving on to the next question. So, any suggestion, advice, or couple of takeaways for students who are pretty much trying to figure out what next in their career? Can be engineers, can be graduates, BCom, BBA, BSc, as to why they should objectively consider 3 years LLB and plan their preparatory journey and the next steps forward. Because GLC Mumbai is one of the options, but there's also NLSIU Bangalore offers both 5 year and 3 year. There's also CNLU Patna, there's NLU Odisha, there's
yes,
also
3 year courses of
University.
NLU are also good.
Yes. So there are a lot of options. So not just restricting ourselves to GLC Mumbai. Of course, it's one of the top choices. There's also CUET for Delhi University.
Yes.
So why anyone should consider 3 years LLB as the next step, as an upgrade in their career trajectory?
So if I have to say so, in 3 years course, the kind of exposure you would get is tremendous. So suppose if there's a candidate, say an engineering candidate like me, who is figuring out what to do. So if he has to give CET or CAT, then the barrier to entry is pretty much high. Then if he have to get he has to get into, say, there are students from my batch, from my engineering batch, who are who are still now trying to get into the IT sector. Similarly, I have few friends who are trying to get into foreign universities, but the kind of investment that is required is exorbitantly high, and there's no no surety that if you land up in a foreign university, you will end up with a good life. So the current international job market is not very good for
Very
Indian
conducive,
students.
yes.
Yes, so many of them are kind of returning as well with a loan of, say, crore or 2 crore. So when we kind of narrow down the options we have, we only end up having 2 3 options. And if you don't want to like pay exorbitantly high, since if there is a candidate from, say, engineering, he has already spent like, say, 8 to 10 lakh, and after that if he has to pay for like next 25 lakhs for an MBA or 20 lakhs for an MBA, if he has to go for foreign education, he has to spend another 60 70 lakh, etc., etc. So the ROI is not that good. See, for example, MBA will kind of get ROI, means उसने जो फीस लगाई है वो उसको रिटर्न कब मिलेगी? After 3 or 4 years. That too, I'm considering that he has landed up in a good job. So if he has taken a student loan, he will have to spend like 3 to 4 years to pay
Yes.
off that. Similarly, if he has taken a foreign education loan, similarly again he has to spend 3 to 4 years. But if he join a top law college, be it the CLC Delhi or
NLS.
NLU colleges, or even in Maharashtra ILS or GLC or any top college in Mumbai. So they are spending hardly a lakh rupees, considering all kind of fees and all those things. So after investing a lakh, say lakh rupees, and interning for 2 to 3 years, that candidate is kind of polished. Whenever he ends up in job market, in 3 to 4 years, he will definitely be ahead of MBA candidate compared to that, because it might seem that MBA candidate is earning, say, 10 to 12 lakh rupees a year, but we don't factor in the amount of loan interest he's paying. If he's taking a student loan, we don't factor in that. So
Understandable. I'm just to clarify for the audience a little. Uh, so with all national laws, 4 national law schools currently offer 3 or LLB program, and their fees is slightly higher as compared to GLC Mumbai or ILS Pune. So for instance, I think NLS, if my memory serves well, is somewhere around the investment is somewhere around 15-16 lakhs for 3 years. So it is, of course, on the higher end, but that's nowhere close to what IIMs charge.
yes,
So objectively, if anybody is just adding on to what you said, objectively, if you're considering 3 or LLB as the next step in your career trajectory, consider factors like the amount of investment that you want to make, strength and weaknesses, because CAT as an exam is super challenging with quant, etc. It's a different category altogether. While your 3 or LLB entrances are, I mean, of course, each college has a different paper pattern, syllabus, and the difficulty level also varies, but it's more or less aligned on general aptitude. Then whether you want to move locationally, etc. So consider these objective metrics, but be rest assured that 3 years is a great career step that you can take once post your graduation to figure out the next step in terms of, say, like if you're a BCom graduate, whether you want to go for MBA, masters, start considering 3 years law also as a good career option, as an avenue that you can explore. Anything to add on to that, Akash? Sorry?
that pretty much sums up.
That pretty much, yeah. So yes, I mean, I think for me it's like more of a drill because I keep telling the same things to the students.
Yes,
The category is such that needs a lot of awareness. the people need to start considering it as an avenue. Currently, they feel that it could be like a plan B or something, but it's a great avenue that they can do it. So I think I can see you have like pretty much getting glances. So I think I'll just end on this note. Um, it was a fun interaction, and I am pretty
Thank you.
certain that students will gain a lot out of it. It was fun interacting with you and learning. All the best for your future endeavors, and hope to see you more on this channel when we can guide a lot of students, and a lot of our students will reach out to you as their senior in GLC Mumbai. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you had a fun session too.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes.